So, good morning to all of you. Today we will discuss something totally different. Engineering basically is problem solving, and I'm trying to explain to you a simple technique by which you will find it easy to solve problems. In engineering we make use of definitions and laws in science, and these give you actually mathematical equations. And any problem normally involves given data and finding out the unknown data. So here we have a simple problem. The technique I use, I call it as sequential thinking. I'll explain as we go through. Now in this case, we are given a problem to convert the liquid height into the normal pressure units. Because here the units given is Newton per meter square. So we need to understand this problem. So we have the height of a liquid column, and then the pressure exerted at this point is what we are expected to find out. So we have no idea how to start. So what do? We simply use the definition of pressure in science. Definition of pressure is what? P is equal to force by area. So the definition of pressure in science. Now we need to check. See, we are asked to find out only given a height, the pressure. So, but in the pressure, the equation we know is pressure is equal to force by area. So area, this cross-sectional area of course is given, so we know what the cross-sectional area is, but F is not known. So when F is not known, what we should do? We should understand the problem and find out what the force would be. So when you look at this, obviously the weight of this liquid column acting on this point is the force available to us. So we will write the weight of the liquid column is W by A. Now we know, of course, A we already said we know, and W we do not know. So we have to find out what would be W. And weight, of course, by definition is mass into acceleration due to gravity. The value of acceleration due to gravity we know, but mass we do not know. So then we have to write an equation for mass. So the advantage of sequential thinking is the current step will tell you what is the next step. So now I have to write an equation for mass. Mass is equal to volume into density, rho. Rho we know, but V do not know. So we write an equation for V. V is equal to height h into the cross-sectional area A. A is known, h is known, which is already given. So now everything is known, we have to substitute back and get the final equation. So here V has to be replaced, V is equal to h into A. So this will become equal to h into A into rho. And that is m. So we substitute for m here. So this is equal to h into A into rho and g. Now this m, we had this equation we have substituted as w here. So that would be equal to h A rho g divided by A. So obviously A and A will cancel out and we will get the final equation as h rho g. So we have already got the equation which is required to solve this problem. Now let us try to solve the problem. So now P would be equal to H. H is given as 760 millivolts from mercury. So we write 760 and below we write mm. So we know the unit also. This is very important because no numerical value has a meaning unless it is associated with a unit. So we need to give that unit. Then what do we have next? H is equal to 760 mm. Then rho is equal to Rho is how much? 13,595 kg per meter cubed. Now next, what is it that you have to add? G. G is equal to 9.80665. So that is meter per second square. So we need to actually reduce it to Newton per meter square. So for that, we need to convert all this into meter. So millimeter to convert to meter, we normally have what is called unity conversion factor. Unity conversion factor is what? We need to get that from the definition. So the definition we have is millimeter is equal to meter by 1000. So unity conversion factor is where you can write it as 1. So that is meter by 1000 mm is equal to 1. It is also equal to 1000 mm by meter. Now why do I write both? Because we have to choose it depending on what we want to eliminate. So here millimeter is on the top. So where millimeter comes top, this unit value we can enter. So that is meter by 1000. This 1000 we can put on the top here. So so here we put 1000. So that is, so this 1000 I can remove and write millimeter. So this millimeter and millimeter gets cancelled. Okay. Now next thing is so now we have got meter square, all that. So now the problem is I have to convert this mass unit into force unit. So that is again from the definition of the unit of force. So Newton is equal to kg meter per second square. So unit value is kg meter per Newton second square equal to 1 is equal to Newton second square by kg meter. So now we have to find out which we have to eliminate. We have to actually eliminate kg and get Newton. So this is the one we will choose. Okay. So then we write here into Newton second square by kg meter. Okay. So now we will see that the units cancel out. Kg and kg goes, meter square goes. Then we have second square and second square going. So finally we have Newton per meter square. So this, of course, we need to find out the value. So we will take the calculator and check that. So 760.76, I will write 0.76 multiplied by 13595 multiplied by 9.8066. It gives you the value as, so I will write it here. The value is 1 0 1 3 2 4 Newton per meter square. Okay, so that is the value which you can see is the standard value of the atmospheric pressure, which is of course is 760 meter. So this is a very interesting and easy technique to solve problems. And what I suggest those who want to really adopt this is to take a solved problem, already solved problem, and then use the sequential thinking technique to finally get the solution. So if you can practice that with a few problems, then definitely you'll get the feel of this technique, and you should be able to solve any problem easily. So by then, I hope all of you will try this technique and find it. Honestly, it is very useful because you see, I have not been stuck. My every step tells me what is the next step. And one more important thing is to handle the units carefully. So I have clearly shown you how we can handle the units, how to convert, and so on. So I hope you will pick up this technique, and you will never find that you will not be able to solve a problem. Otherwise, it will clearly tell you what more data you need to solve the problem. So I wish you all the success in your effort to really learn how to solve problems. Okay then, bye.